Hello everybody, massive thank you to everyone for contributing towards 1000 subscribers. You guys absolutely annihilated that subscribe button. And from the previous video poll about she came for Quick's placement, Deep Depths of Hell ended up winning, so that's where it will go. And with that said, let's get into the video. The Dimensional Merge is a supposed apocalyptic event in which Chris believes that Dimension 1218, which according to Chris, 1218 was inhabited by fantastical denizens alongside humans and animals, but was divided into other universes by the wizard Merlin during the reign of King Arthur in the 14th century. This is Chris's way of explaining why mythical creatures do not exist with us today. And Dimension C197, which is the primary dimension of Chris's fantasy. The name is based off the fictional dimension C137 from Rick and Morty. It includes Quickville and all other creations Chris has produced over the years, as well as various creations by other companies and people such as Transformers, MLP, and all manner of Sonichu OCs. The geography of this dimension is dubious at best, with Quickville itself behaving much like Springfield from The Simpsons, expanding and contracting whenever it's necessary. Of course, the merge is just an escapist fantasy and coping mechanism for Chris. Originally part of the lore the idea guys had brainwashed into Chris, the dimensional merge is Chris's latest means of avoiding reality, believing it will rescue him from his self-inflicted real-life problems and enable him to continue living like a man-child. First announced in October 2018, the merge was expected to take place by the end of the year. That deadline and several others have passed without incident, but Chris has remained persistent in the years since. Indulging this belief has become the default latch-on point for would-be trolls. It is also said that the financial crisis also helped Chris go off the deep end, because he believes that he is wealthy in Quickville, and that when the dimensional merge finally happens, he will have access to his money there and will be able to pay off his current real-world debts. He has asked to borrow money from people, claiming he'll pay back 10 times the amount once the merge concludes, not realizing he sounds like more of an autistic version of the Nigerian prince scam. On the 8th of October, Chris tweeted, "Sometimes I just want to give up, but my loved ones won't let me. If people could help us here, in this world, monetarily, we would be okay. I promise all of you that when the day comes, I will reimburse you personally in the nation of Quickville." He followed this tweet up on the 23rd of October with, "When the world merges, I will have access to tons of savings in Quickville. It is a lot of money indeed. It is a 10 to 1 in my repayment rate." And with all of that said, I think it deserves, rightfully so, a good placement. The end of Chris's decade-long love quest happened during the Idea Guy saga, where Chris's belief in multiple dimensions was exploited and his sense of reality hijacked to make changes to many of Chris's characters, concepts, and perspectives of the real world, within considering them to be valid. Ideas involving the love quest include Chris being brainwashed into thinking of himself as a bisexual, and Chris believing he's in a polyamorous marriage with his imaginary friends. Beginning in March 2018, Chris is already weak grasp on reality, having been eroded further under the Idea Guy's influence. He believed himself to be in a polyamorous marriage with Mewtwo, Magic-chan, Grizel Rosechew, and Sylvana. By April 2018, the Idea Guys had manipulated Chris into believing that he was bisexual. In April, Chris recorded Dick Licker, That Is I, a video of him giving his imaginary husband Magic-chan a blowjob. 2 weeks later, Chris flirted with Brian Frogboy over the internet. He also began to kiss men on the cheek in public, including several fans and attendees at the Too Many Games convention, which led to his ass getting kicked out. Chris's belief in the polyamorous marriage was so strong that he told Whiskers, a female fan cosplaying as him, that he wasn't interested in dating her. And in July 2018, he also rebuffed a professed potential sweetheart, Miss Cherry, showing no further interest in finding real-life China for himself, only fictional one permitted now on. The love quest has come, if not to an underwhelming yet bizarre conclusion, at least to a long interlude not quite like anything before it in Christory. It seems that in a sense, the real love quest were the severely brain-damaged friends that Chris made along the way, quite literally. That being said, even in this state, Chris occasionally indicates his disappointment in not finding a romantic partner that actually, exists. In one such post, he once again blames the trolls for his inability to find a woman instead of making an effort to reach out to someone offline that doesn't involve waving a sign around or loitering on private property. With that post, Chris projected that he had a good Valentine's Day and that all trolls were miserable, when in actuality he spent it holed up in his house with his mother and pets, probably still depressed about his lot in life. Additionally, while speaking with Kawaii Sandbag, Chris indicated that he was still lonely and had considered one of the members of the Praetors for a potential relationship, but put it off under the belief that Magi-chan would soon cross into 1218. It remains to be seen whether Chris will consider revamping his love quest again, or if he will continue to hold out for Magi-chan. The true end of this saga was made clear near the end of June. The boyfriend-free girl he had searched for all these years had been hiding under his nose and a pile of garbage this whole time. Unfortunately, this end was not what we all pictured, and the falling actions of this story likely involve him reliving the hour Julie revealed herself day after day in prison, because we, the people of 1218, would never let them be together. I'm going to place this in the bad tier due to it just being sad and effed up how Chris, for the most part of his life post 2018, gave up on dating real life people and would quite literally date his hallucinations and delusions. The relics of Fail, also known as Christorical Artifacts, are several items that Chris places significant emotional value on. Most of the fates of these relics are unknown following the 2014 house fire and the aftermath of the jail saga, but several relics including the Sonic Totem, the Megatron Pistol, and the Crumple Lobe are confirmed to have survived, with others likely to have escaped serious damage as well. The most important and influential relics would be the classic, Chris's famous blue, white and red rugby t-shirt. Formerly thought to have been destroyed during the house fire of 2014, Chris later rediscovered it in a damp and grimy bag of clothes, and put it up for sale on eBay after restoring it by cleaning it up and poorly patching it. It was badly damaged and beyond repair, and was later presumably thrown out by Barb. Quick on TV, a DVD composed of many home videos among other things, such as his Song of Christine. Guitar, apparently convinced that counts as a real guitar, Chris is often seen with his beloved Guitar Hero controller in attempts to look cool. It invariably has the opposite effect. Pedo glasses. Have you ever noticed how most pedophiles incompensate sketches with these kind of glasses? Yeah, don't think about it too hard. Sonchu, Chris's beaten old station wagon. It has been replaced 4 times over the years. Also appears in the comics as one of the Samurai Pizza bots. Sailor Moon poster. Chris used this poster to keep himself straight. Lil Chris, a stuffed bear created at the Create a Critter workshop. Clown doll, a harmless looking clown doll, significant that it is often bears the brunt of Chris's fury in his many rage videos. Its hat was bitten off by him at one point. Fap cup, a plastic cup used by Chris to collect his semen for recycling. Megatron pistol, a toy handgun Chris uses to threaten his most hated foes. Plush breasts, a pair of fake breasts often seen in his videos, possibly used as a sign of heterosexual virility and as a mass debating tool. Sex toys, lots and lots of sex toys, including sex dolls, a vibrator, a dildo, a penis pump, a strap from the dildo, anal beads, penis rings, and 2 fleshlights. Autism papers, presumably papers detailing Chris's exact psychological diagnosis, while a psychiatric survey from 2004 has been procured. The original papers documenting Chris's diagnosis are currently locked away in a filing cabinet in Bob's room. The papers are currently presumed missing after Bob's death and the house fire of 2014. Transcripts and report cards. Chris's transcripts and report cards to verify whether if he was indeed an honor roll and what degree his claims about his high school grades are true. Attraction sign, a relic of days past when Chris had not yet been told by his mother that soliciting using a sign made him look retarded. The most recent sight of this to date was at Fridays After 5. Heart torch, an odd-looking creation, though more original than most of his works, born of pixel blocks that is used in the comics to summon his twin sister, Crystal. Medallions, hunks of Crayola brand modeling clay fashioned into the shape of Sonichu's head, among other characters' heads, once believed by trolls to be the source of his power, though they were swiftly corrected when Chris began showing off the Amnes Festi ring to show that his videos are true and honest. Chris eventually began production, selling new medallions on eBay in 2014. Letters to sweethearts. Condoms, never used correctly. Chris once used one that Mia Hamm purchased. Receipts from Ohio trip. Chris bought some burgers, obviously no pickles, from Sonic on the way to Cleveland. Amnes Festi ring. Since the Sonic 2 medallions were stolen, Chris has claimed this mysteriously named high school ring is the true source of his power. He has since put the ring up on eBay, claiming his true source of power is within himself. Sonic 2 medallion. A medallion Chris crafted himself from Crayola Model Magic, which used to store his power to transform into Chris Chan Sonic 2, before it was revealed that it was actually the above ring. Anime wings. A pair of women's hair clips that Chris got at Anime Mid-Atlantic. For some reason, Chris felt the need to incorporate them into his comic. Belt buckle. Not a very well-known relic, but nonetheless extremely amusing. Magic stones. Chris owns some quartz crystals which he can store energy in and get more energy out from. Sonic 2 shoes. Chris shoes that are painted with Sonic 2 colors. Jacob Sockness purchased the first pair when they were worn out. PS3, Chris's life upgrade, and arguably one of the biggest drains on his monthly tugboat. He went through 2 PS3s. PlayStation Eye, the window through which trolls can catch glimpses of Chris on his day-to-day life. Apple products. Chris likes Apple and owns a lot of their products, including, as of 2018, 2 iPhones, one public and one private. PSP, yet another drain on Chris's tugboat. He's in typical fashion, decorated it with images of his flagship character and his own face. Homemade CDs. Chris has made a life out of burning homemade CDs with his own crappy artwork on it. The most notable ones are Christian's favorite hits, which saw the birth of everybody's favorite electric hedgehog Pokemon, Sonic 2 and 3/4 Woman, a CD supposedly made for his sweetheart Catherine, but in reality was all about himself. Track lists due to Chris's other homemade CDs. Of Chris's CDs, the only ones whose tracklist information is publicly available are Christian's favorite hits and 3/4 Woman. Some of these CDs could contain very interesting information, including Song Between Friends, a CD for Christina and Sarah. Like other CDs, virtually nothing is known about this disc and its tracklist. Its existence and the date in which it was made are attested solely by a drawing from Chris's scrapbook. Pokewalker, a Pokeball-shaped pedometer originally packed with the Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver versions, recolored in the image of one of the 7 Sonic 2 balls. Wiimote, like the PSP and Guitar Hero controller, this poor Wiimote has been decked out in Sonic 2 colors and was used in Chris's attempts to get Miyamoto to make him a video game. PlayStation 4, Chris's current main gaming console, and is also used to make the majority of his videos. Nintendo Switch, Nintendo's latest gaming console and given to Chris by enablers. Xbox One. Fitbit, a gadget to help Chris get healthier. Gaming laptop, a laptop that Half-Life 2 has probably still not been played on. DSi and 3DS, a Nintendo handheld console that Chris has used for Flipnote Hatina in the past. Commodore 64, a very old gaming console that Chris believes he is the goddess equivalent due to the ADI guy's influence. Scrapbook, a 3-ring binder containing all of Chris's comic pages and other drawings. The Crumpled Lope, an envelope residing in the scrapbook of Fail that stored torn up remains of Chris's most regretted drawing. Even after the 14-branch length caught fire, it still happened to be intact. Oversized drinking straw. Even the simple task of drawing a straight line to depict a drinking straw evades Chris. Original hand-drawn copies of Sonic 2 that are superior to all forms of digital artwork since they don't have the original pencil markings. Nobody can copy Chris's hand-drawn style no matter how hard you try. Sonic Totem, a demonic-looking paper mache Sonic that Chris made and appears in a few videos. It has since been sold for $1,500 on eBay. Hand-drawn Nintendo Power issue, a lengthy homemade issue of Nintendo Power crafted to show Sonic ditching Sega to join Nintendo and revealing a little bit of what Chris wants in Sonic 2 games. Lego figures. Chris has created Lego minifigures which are made to look like the people in his life and his original characters. Manchester High Lego building. Chris spent many hours creating his high school out of Lego, which is estimated to have cost him $1,000 if all of the Lego sets were purchased at retail price. Amiibo of Quickville characters. Chris has modified amiibo figures of characters from Nintendo games to look like his original characters. Voodoo Torture Chamber. Chris used black magic to curse some of the people he didn't like by putting voodoo like effigies in a chamber. Holy labels. So the labels blessed by Chris and sent to someone who wrote him letters in jail. Samples of Chris's semen. A video that was uploaded on the 26th of February 2016 reveals that Chris has been saving samples of his semen and storing them in his home's fridge. In the video, Chris shows two samples, one that was produced recently and another one from the 18th of May 2015. Muscle bra. A bra that Chris wears to keep his man boobs in check. He believes that everyone will be turned gay if they don't wear one too. Unicorn cosplay. A set of unicorn ears, a horn and a tail that Chris got at BronyCon 2017. Chris has since worn these accessories outdoors and even to church, where he was asked to remove it. Hillary Clinton woman card. A card Chris uses to prove that he is in fact a woman. And last, but probably one of the most infamous relics, the pepper spray. A weapon of self-defense that Chris has used illegally in the past. This is the end of the video, I guess. Just a quick announcement, depending how this video performs, I'll be on my way to finish editing the Christian iceberg video, which for the few of you who don't know, it will get released at 1,000 subscribers. And with that said, I'm going to take a dump. See ya!